So another harakiri and another batting collapse by the Indian team, and suddenly it seems like they have fallen behind in this third test between India and New Zealand. I am Shubhain Chakravarti. With me is Athro, and Athro. Last 15 minutes of madness. We keep on telling that one session lost, one bat 30 minutes, one bat 45 minutes, but here one bat 10 or 12 minutes,
One bat, 2 overs.
one bat 2 overs.
And I was just checking that India has actually never lost a series, never suffered a clean sweep at home in series which are more than two test matches. So the only time that happened was against South Africa in 99-2000 when South Africa beat India 2-0 in a two-match series.
Right.
India has never suffered a clean sweep against the greatest of West Indies sides, Australian sides, English sides in history. So that looms large, and for that possibility to have opened up, we have to look at the last 2 overs of the day when India, from a commanding position, they suddenly slipped and they look in dire straits at the moment.
Absolutely, but before we go into that last 10-12 minutes, credit goes to Ravindra Jadeja. He has been criticized. Ravichandran Ashwin has been criticized, but credit to Ravindra Jadeja, the way he read the pitch, the way he used the speed of the ball, some different angles also, and he picked up some crucial wickets to help India have a grip in this Bombay Test. But
And how did you undo it? In what spectacular manner did we undo this? The Indian team undo this? None of the shots were called for considering the time remaining. It was just a question of playing a batting out the day,
Right.
and India would have been a very, very strong position.
right.
Had that not taken place, those were suicidal to say the least. And who do we point a finger at? There is everybody. Starting from Rohit Sharma. Don't forget that.
Well, that was a
That
what a
was a
shot. What
horrendous
shot
shot.
that was?
That was, we say that people are caught in two minds.
Mhm.
I think he was caught in 3 or 4 minds.
He wanted to pull, he wanted to tap it towards mid wicket, a delivery which was in the channel in the third, fourth stump region. And it was very unlike Rohit Sharma. Is it lack of confidence? Is the Indian team panicking? What do you think is the matter? Is it psychological or is it more technical?
I think it's both. And there are people sitting in designated positions who are supposed to address this, who are paid to address this. We can only see and we can point out what's wrong, why it is wrong, why it is happening, what are the remedial measures that those people have to decide.
Right.
But as you rightly point out, it was harakiri. It was suicidal completely. Jaiswal, a set batter. Trying to reverse sweep that ball.
That too against Ajaz Patel, against whom you have favourable matchup. You can tap it towards long on mid wicket, take a single if you want to rotate strike, or even go for a big shot if you want a boundary. But to reverse sweep and make that bowler a completely different matchup game, it was madness. I can still give it to Yashasvi Jaiswal that he's an experienced youngster. Okay, I can still have that excuse. But what happened with Virat Kohli? Same mistake which happened in Pune. The run out where Rishabh Pant suffered that, and right now it was a suicidal run.
In Pune, it was not probably his call. It was the non-striker's call. Ball was behind the wicket, behind the stumps.
It's still debatable.
And today it was completely his call. And we all know that he's a very sharp runner between wickets.
Right.
He has done that a number of times over a long period of time. But today, at that hour of play, it was just.
And he got a boundary.
That was the last over of the day. Why attempt something so sharp, so risky at that hour? And it's very difficult to explain. We can ask questions, but we will not get the answers. This is one of those things where there is no explanation. The only explanation is something like the words like brain fade, words like
suicidal,
lack of reason, momentary lapse of reason, and all those things. We can use jargons, but it was completely inexplicable and very, very unbecoming of a test side. So if you make these mistakes, then there is no coming back.
Absolutely, and another decision which we have to talk about is sending Mohammad Siraj as the night watchman. You have a Washington Sundar, you have a Akashdeep. Akashdeep is still a better bat than Mohammad Siraj. Was it a blunder by the Indian team management? I don't know whose call it was, whether it was the coaching staff's call, whether it was captain's call, but whoever made that call, I think has to take the blame today.
See, night watchmen are those who at least have some runs under their belt in first class cricket.
Right.
I mean, of course, they are primarily bowlers. I mean, in 99% of cases, they are bowlers.
Right.
But who can hold the bat in a first class match? And I was checking Siraj's numbers. He averages 7.05 in first class cricket.
And he
Yeah.
hasn't done any notable contribution with the bat for the Indian team as well.
He
In whatever.
averages something like 3 or thereabouts in test cricket. So, I mean, well, it was one after another. I mean, we have seen blunders. We all seen blunders.
And
We
it
see-
happens in sports.
Blunders happen in sport, but so many blunders in so quick time, and at such a critical time when India were on the cusp of taking a firm grip on proceedings of this Test match. They were in a commanding position.
Absolutely, they were.
And
Had they
from-
closed, had Yashasvi and Shubman closed the day, even Yashasvi got out. Had Virat Kohli come in and close the day with Shubman Gill, we would have said, okay, India have a very solid chance to take a lead on day 2, and it's not an easy pitch to bat on, by the way.
Right. I mean, that is a point that we'll discuss. Probably not now, but we will discuss this as the match goes on, because it's very similar to the Pune surface actually.
But with a lot more.
With lot more bounce, with lot more bounce. So batting will become difficult, progressively more difficult as the match goes on. So India got that advantage. I mean, they bowled New Zealand got them all out for 235, which is not a huge score.
Right.
Very similar. I mean, very close to the Pune total.
yeah.
I was thinking of that. Very similar, under very similar circumstances. And despite that, they after losing Rohit Sharma, they came back very strongly.
Right, they came back.
It was.
And they were clinical. Clinical is the word I would use for New Zealand in the entire series, not today, but the entire series. Whenever India have loosened up their grip in the match, they have made sure to punish India, and that is what they did today. And credit to Will Young and Daryl Mitchell, the way they played, the way they tackled Washington Sundar, Ravindra Jadeja, and even Ravindra Jadeja for long hours. And it was not easy out there. It was extremely humid. It was extremely hot. Both Jadeja and Daryl Mitchell in press conferences accepted that. Jadeja even said that we were struggling to grip the ball because of the sweat that we were getting. So credit to New Zealand for being cynical, for being absolutely brutal with their decision making, with their clinicalness out on the field, with their fielding efforts. And yes, they deserve to be on the top on day 1, but we don't know what will happen on day 2.
I differ with you,
Yeah.
Shubhan, because of course, I mean, I'm not taking anything away from the effort put in by the New Zealanders, but here the Indians had the advantage,
Right.
and they handed it over
Right.
by some very soft and shocking shot selection and some very timid decision making. I mean, decision making is not only sending Mohammad Siraj as the night watchman. The decision by Virat Kohli to take that single, that is also decision making, right?
Decision to play reverse sweep by Yashasvi Jaiswal,
Yes.
that is also a
Yes.
blunder.
Yes.
And Rohit Sharma to attempt that nothing shot. I think India have collectively failed in this series so far, but as Jadeja said, that we are still not out of the game, we are still in the
True,
game.
true.
And India will have to stitch partnerships to make sure that they get as close as possible to that 230 total, or even try to take a lead. But that is a far from what we are seeing right now.
Yeah,
230.
this match is not over. I mean, there is opportunity to come back. There is room to come back, no doubt. But we are talking about the situation right now, right?
It
Which
is
could have been, which could have been so much better. Is looking so much more vulnerable.
I think that's a great point to end the day. Hopefully Shubman Gill, Rishabh Pant, followed by Sarfaraz Khan, followed by 3 all-rounders in Washington Sundar, Ravichandran Ashwin, and Ravindra Jadeja, and of course Akashdeep at the last batting position will have some notable contribution to help India make a comeback. But right now on day 1, it is New Zealand on top. Do let us know what you think about that final 15 minutes or the entire day in the comment section below. But so far, good night from Mumbai, and see you tomorrow.